Hello, everybody, and welcome to year two with the San Francisco Giants. We've completed the offseason, and now we are in 2019. Big names, same names, new places. So let's get started, break it down, and then we'll break down the Giants' moves and roster going forward. Starting out with the in-division signings through the offseason. The LA Dodgers, I think we're the winners here, but you be the judge of that. They get Andrew Miller and Charlie Blackmon. The Arizona Diamondbacks get Freddie Galvis. Then the San Diego Padres get Bryce Harper. We all expected it to be Harper's last year. Last couple of games with the Nationals, we were right in this instance. He signs to San Diego, not necessarily the facts in real life. How about out of division now? Salvador Perez heads to Washington, Jarrod Dyson to Toronto, Pedro Strop to the Mets, Marwin Gonzalez to Boston, and Tyson Ross to Washington. Now, obviously, those weren't the only moves, but those were the most top-end names you're going to get in this year's free agency poll. And Andrew McCutchen. We were trying to trade for Avellino, the Yankees' second baseman, top prospect in their organization. We did make the trade for him. However, it was not Andrew McCutchen we sent to New York. We sent McCutchen a qualifying offer of $17.5 million, whatever the default offers for 1 year for a tender qualifying offer. And Toronto Blue Jays offered him about $3.5 million more. He took Toronto's deal. Long story short, Toronto has McCutchen. We have Avellino in a different trade for different players. And the Giants, they made a couple moves with Hunter Pence retiring. They let Gregor Blanco walk. They have Carlos Gomez, Melvin Upton Jr. for the outfield. And then to help the bullpen in dire situations, which we all knew what the bullpen was last year, they signed in Aaron Luke. So the Giants roster heading into 2019, starting with positional players. We'll get to pitching here in a second. We have Buster Posey and Nick Hundley on the MLB roster. And this is pretty much the roster going forward. We have 24 guys on the active roster. We have room for one more if we need them. But this is it going forward from day one. So Buster Posey, Nick Hundley, a catcher. First base, just Brandon Belt. Second base, Joe Panic and Abayatel Avellino. 24 years old, 65 overall. Giants thought highly of him. Hopefully he can produce. You can see his attribute wheel. Good speed, good arm, good reaction, good contact for a 24-year-old. I think he'll fit very nicely into this infield. Third base, Evan Longoria is the only one in the MLB. Shortstops, Brandon Crawford and Kelby Tomlinson. Left field, Austin Slater. That's it. Melvin Upton is in AAA for the time being. It was really just a fill-in spot. We still have Peter Borges, Chris Shaw, who he's not on the 40-man, but if he starts producing, we saw glimpses of him last year. We'll decide what we can do with him. But Mac Williamson really regressing here to a 57 overall at 28. It looks like Chris Shaw is the future at left field. Center field, Steven Dugar is going to still be our starting center fielder. We have Gorkis Hernandez. And then Carlos Gomez is our starting right fielder. So we're pretty thin at outfield, but it is what it is. I think we have enough to work with here. And again, we have one free spot on that 25-man roster for the MLB. And we do have a full 40-man. So our relief pitchers and closing pitchers, we'll start there. Closing pitcher, Mark Melanson. He will be our closer just like he was Well, not last year, but he will be our closer this year. Will Smith and all these guys, if we sort, Will Smith, Hunter Strickland, Derek Law, Tony Watson, Ray Black. That is our bullpen as of right now. And before I forget, correction, Will Smith is our closer. We're leaving Melanson in as a setup role. I think it works better. So apologies to Melanson for having him in a closing role, but it is Will Smith. Will Smith just works great there. 29 years old, still got it, 83 overall. Our starting pitchers, obviously, the big question going forward was Madison Bumgarner. We did retain him, and you can see we paid him pretty good. He's getting $28 million this year, $29.5 million next year, 31 year 3, 32.5 year 4, 34 year 5. We paid him $155 million for a 5-year deal, and we really needed to retain him because without him, this pitching staff, no disrespect to Cueto, Samardzija, all the young kids, it's just not the same. So, past Bumgarner, we have Johnny Cueto, Jeff Samardzija is our 3, Chris Stratton and Ty Block. And then we have Tyler Beede. Right now, Tyler Beede is in the bullpen, I believe. Yes, he is. He's in the bullpen. So, we have 6 starters, 1 in the pen. And actually, no, Mark Melanson is our closer. All right, so I was wrong on that. A little embarrassing. Don't even know the own roster that I set, but with that said, Melanson, Strickland, Smith are lockdown guys. We'll look to Tyler Beede and probably Derek Law to get us through the games. We have Bumgarner, Cueto, Samardzija, Stratton, Block is our starting 5. Our lineups against right-handed pitching with DH, Steven Degar will lead off. Panic, Posey, Belt, Longoria, Crawford, Gomez, Slater, and Tomlinson. Obviously subject to change at any time. No DH, you put Bumgarner in there. Left-handed pitching, it is the same lineup: Dugar, Panic, Posey, Belt, Longoria, Crawford, Gomez, and Slater, with Kelby Tomlinson, the DH, as well there. So, this roster, definitely different. Could say it got worse in the outfield. I would say pretty much stayed the same. But the Dodgers, the Padres, definitely a step up in the right direction. The Padres, Manuel Margot will lead off, Carlos Suaje, then Bryce Harper in the 3-hole. That's a scary 1, 2, 3, 4. And we had our problems against San Diego, so it just gets a little bit tougher. Will Myers, Brian Pena, Jose Perella, Christian Villanueva, and Luis Urias. For the Dodgers, Charlie Blackmon, their new guy, will lead off the lineup. Then Chris Taylor, Corey Seager, Cody Bellinger, Justin Turner, Yasiel Puig, Matt Kemp, Ismani Grandal, and Camilo Castro. For the Rockies, DJ LeMahieu, Geraldo Parra, Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story, Carlos Gonzalez, David Dahl, Avisail Garcia, Tommy Joseph, who they got in the Rule 5 draft, and Tony Walters. And then finally for the D-backs, Ketel Marte, Austin Jackson, Paul Goldschmidt, Jake Lamb, David Peralta, Steven Souza, Ismani Tomas, Alex Avila, and the new kid, Freddie Galvis, will go in the 9-hole. So guys, that is the Giants offseason. Next time out, we have Zach Greinke, Arizona Diamondbacks, at AT&T Park for the home opener and the Game 1 of the 2019 MLB season. We will be glad to see you there, and hopefully the Giants can start out with a W.